It's always a treat for us when one of our favorites stops by the Kevin and Bean Show. You know him as the lead singer of the band The Killers. Now he's got his second solo album ready to drop. It's Brandon Flowers stepping in here on KROQ. Hey, how are you, Brandon?
Great. How's it going?
Very good, thank you.
Long time, my friend. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen you in your sweet hairdo.
It is good.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I've been working on it.
Beautiful.
Road game.
Well, we got a lot of ground to cover since the last time we saw you. First of all, it must be very exciting for you having a new solo album coming out. May 19th is the U.S. date. It is called The Desired Effect. What is The Desired Effect, Brandon?
I'll leave that up to everybody else to decide. I think we all have different desired effects.
I remember from interviewing you before that you are not comfortable assigning meanings to songs. You just like people to get out of them whatever they...
I've learned from experience that it's sort of, you spend a lot of time working on the song and, you know, and cultivating it and getting it ready. And then I can just kind of throw it away in a second with, you know, with an explanation, you know, trying to get to the next question or whatever it is. And then it may have some other more important meaning for somebody else, or they're all going to play. I just don't want to blow it.
Well, the first, I think, 50 times I listened to Lonely Town, just grooving, digging it. And then it occurred to me, I am on a one-lane road to Creepyville.
Yeah.
That's a creepy song when you listen to the words.
It's a little bit sinister.
Yeah.
But it sounds affectionate and lovey-dovey, sort of.
Absolutely. Until you realize he's outside asking if you'd lock your doors.
So yeah, that one, I don't mind talking about that one a little bit.
That's the one that you've from the solo album that you've kind of compared a little bit to Every Breath You Take.
That's right.
Which is people think it's a love song, but guess again.
Yeah, that's right. I was always a big fan. You know, hats off to Sting for that.
Sure. So, Brandon, the main question I always have for somebody who already has a band going and then is able to make solo records is, how do you have so many good songs? Like, most groups are just desperately hoarding whatever ideas they have to put an album together that's good. You've got more songs than you know what to do with your band. How is that possible? Why are you so prolific?
I don't know what. I'm just, you know, I work really hard and I keep going back into the keyboard and to the piano, and the band keeps, you know, hammering away. I think that's a big part of it. I noticed we had that work ethic early on. We applied what we learned from our dads, I think, and the way that they went to work, and we noticed right away when we started that a lot of the bands had great haircuts and had managers, but they weren't good enough, you know. And we were looking at people that were making it and doing, you know, making a lot of noise when we first started. It was the White Stripes and the Strokes, and these people that were, you know, writing great choruses, and that was really what we were shooting for. You
treat it like a real job then, like something to take seriously, get up and really work hard at it, not just now we've made it, we can skate.
Yeah, no, still I'm thankful for what we've accomplished, and I'm proud of it, but I definitely don't want to just rest on that. And I'm always looking to evolve and get better, and I'm excited about, you know, writing a better song than before.
Do you have trouble comparing it to the band when you're doing your solo thing? Do you think about that? Oh, this won't fit with what the band has put out?
Sometimes it feels like, okay, I've got to decide what the song is. This a Killer song or is it a solo song? And for this record, I wasn't as picky about it. I really just wanted to take the best stuff that I had and put my best foot forward here.
I am more fascinated with the songwriting aspect than anything else that an artist does. Do you wake up in the morning and go, all right, I'm going to write from 8 till noon today, and that's my thing? Or are you, when inspiration strikes me, that's when I'll pull over and write it down in my phone?
A little bit of both. Yeah, so it's something. I think that it's sort of like a muscle, I guess. You know, I think it's good to exercise it and to try to make time to write as much as you can. But I definitely have moments where I might hear something or be reminded of something or get a certain feeling and feel like I really should go try and capture this. And those are, you know, usually the best times to do it.
So you put 10 songs on the album, right? How many do you write or have or record? Are you the kind that does 40, 50?
Yeah, you always hear people say 40 or 50, and I don't know, you know, it always sounds, I don't know if I believe them that they have 40 or 50 like hashed out songs. What I do is I make quick demos. So if I have an idea, I make a verse and a chorus, and then I move on. You're gonna know from what you got from that if it's gonna, you know, if you should pursue it or not.
Is it important to leave it alone for a little bit and then come back to it?
Yep. And that's nice because the songs that stick around and that you still gravitate towards, you know, are worth, you know, really fleshing out. And so yeah, that's how I do it. So I probably had 40. I did have 40 or 50
ideas,
little demos. Yeah, little demos, but I wouldn't call them songs.
Right. What's the best song you've ever written, Brandon Flowers?
Oh,
We Are the World?
I don't know.
I don't think
That
he
wasn't
wrote
him?
that, no.
Oh, sorry.
Best one. I don't know. It's hard to
Party in the USA?
It's all relative, you know. I probably have a different answer every day that I
Really?
wake up.
That's cool. What's the worst song you've ever written?
I'm guessing we haven't heard it.
Hold on, there's got to be something. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm guessing
There are a lot that never make it, and that would be quite embarrassing. But yeah, no, I'm sure there's. What's the worst one? Hell, I don't know.
This is the voice of Brandon Flowers here at the Kevin Beach Show. We're talking about his new record. He's going to be performing for us live here in just a few minutes on KROQ as well, so stick around for that. I'm very excited to hear that. The Desired Effect is the album. It's coming out on Tuesday, May 19th. You worked with a different producer on this record than
right.
you have previously, solo or with the Killers, and that made a little bit of a difference. Tell me about that, Brandon.
So my buddy Benji, he was in a band called Ambulance Ltd. I don't know if this was in the early 2000s. It's a great band, and him and the drummer from that band are actually in my solo band. And he played with Cass McCombs and was recording with Ariel, and had told me about this guy, and then Then we went on tour in Australia, and I heard the new Vampire Weekend record, and they were touring with us there. And
How did he describe Ariel to you?
he just said it was funny. He just said, I think you guys will get along, and I think he'll make you a great record. And so I knew I had to meet him. And then the Haim came out, and so I kept hearing his name, and so I decided to give him a call.
So he's one of these producers. Everything he'd done, you liked. So you said, let's see what he's all about if he can work with me.
Yeah, he's a young guy, and he's hungry, and he has a great sort of understanding for a wide variety of music.
When you meet a guy like that, do you start with music? You start hanging out to see if you can just get along with him?
It was a phone call, and it was great. It was a good one. And then and it's once we met, it wasn't always just cotton candy, but we got along pretty good.
Kevin's thinking about cotton candy.
I am,
Not
right
all
now.
cotton candy.
Yeah.
You're getting hungry. The Desired Effect is the album. We're marching Brandon down to the Red Bull Soundspace here at KROQ to perform in a little bit, but more with our guests when we return right after this on KROQ. Allie, you were talking to Brandon right there as we were listening to that song here, is that you identify some 80s going on in this album. Is she right about that, Brandon?
A little bit.
80s synth pop.
Synth pop. What do you like? What
power
synth pop did you
ballads.
like?
I liked a lot. I'm a big fan of the OMDs, the Depeche Modes.
That's the good stuff.
I love that stuff.
Yeah.
So this was like a throwback for me, and I put on my roller skates and I got out there, Brandon. Thank you.
Speaking of that, it's not only in the production, it's in Neil Tennant from the actual Pet Shop Boys
Yeah, so
on the
good.
record.
That's right.
Now, how do you go about getting a guy like him? I mean, is that you just call his people and hope he gets back to you, or did you already know him?
Neil's cool. I got Neil on my phone, so that's good. I've become to know him over the years, and we actually have him on one of our Christmas songs.
That's right.
Yeah, it's called "Joseph Better You Than Me."
That's right. I forgot about that.
It's about Mary's Joseph.
Yeah.
So you call him and you just ask him if he wants to play on a song, or how does that?
Well,
Where you
it
just
was
become
great.
friends?
This was a crazy, modern situation. I texted him and said, "We have this line that we want you to speak," and he just did a voice memo and sent me the voice memo, and we stuck it from my phone onto the track. It's crazy.
That's pretty high tech, Brandon. I see why you needed that fancy producer for that. It's good work.
And
Awesome.
it sounds crystal clear, though. It sounds.
Yeah, it's crazy what you can get away with without actually having to get into a studio and do it all proper.
He was 5,000 miles away. How far away is England? 6,000 miles?
It's a long ways. I don't know.
Speaking of the Christmas songs, let me diverge for 1 second here. Since the last time we talked to you, you did a song with our friend Jimmy Kimmel. That was last year's. That was the 2014 song.
That's right.
He made it look on his show like he was there with you guys in the room writing that song. Did it really happen like that?
Not exactly. But
Tell us more.
he did send us the full lyric sheet. I told him, we wanted to do a song, and he had this idea, which is a genius idea, about a lump of coal that gets given to a bad kid, and he gives himself up and lets the boy squeeze him, and he becomes a diamond. And it's a sweet, wonderful idea. I can't believe that it's the first time, it took till 2015 to come up with it. Anyway, we made it, a song in Las Vegas, and we're able to work, with Jimmy like that. It was great.
That's weird.
It was fun. I love
He
that
sent
you
you
guys.
all of the lyrics.
He had the
done?
lyrics, which I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
And it was really easy to work like that. I'm
Yeah,
open.
if somebody
I'm
else
open
doing
to
most of
that.
the work, that's way easier. That's how I'd want to work too.
You also have Bruce Hornsby on this.
That's right.
How did you get a hold
Well,
of
we
him?
kept we kept referencing him. There's a certain way that he plays chords, and he'll even say, when you play an A minor, you play it, and when I play an A minor, I just play it a little bit different. And he has his own thing that he owns, and it's great it was great to be able to call him up, and he was really accommodating and really cool, and just did whatever he said. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but if you like it, use it.
That's cool.
How did you get this guy Ronnie from the Killers?
Vannucci's probably got his drumsticks in his back pocket right now somewhere. He's ready for the call. And he really liked this song, Untangled Love, and it just felt like a good fit to have, a little bit of that Killers DNA on the record.
How is your tour different when you're a solo act versus the Killers?
It's a lot, the shows are smaller and the band is different. So I don't know, everything else though, I try to find similarities, I want to be comfortable, and I look for, my microphone is going to be there, and there's going to be a few familiar faces in the crowd, and I don't know, we have a lot of the same crew working with us. So
after you tour a lot, do you then write songs sort of differently, like thinking of performing them?
Sometimes,
because you've been on stage so long now, you have to sort of. I would
definitely find things that work, in these bigger arenas, and okay, that's going to be great, or I want something like that in this next song, and you definitely do apply that kind of stuff.
This is Brandon Flowers we're talking to from The Killers, new solo album coming out on the 19th called The Desired Effect. Do you look at this as an album, a sit-down from front to finish, or do you look at this as a collection of songs?
Try to make it feel like, an experience. And especially you take a lot of us that are accustomed to, buying records that we love and listening to them, the whole thing. We can't help but sit down and really try to get the running order in the right space, and we don't just throw them out there. It's a real nightmare.
I appreciate that, because I feel like the album is almost dead to a certain extent. I feel like we live in a song of the summer world, not in an album you listen to over and over and over again like it used to be. And I know that that's your choice. People can choose to do that if they want, but I appreciate the time and effort that goes into trying to make something that works from beginning to end.
Yeah, thanks. No, yeah, we're definitely. It feels weird saying that I'm sort of old school in some way, because I'm not. I'm not. But it has changed very drastically over the last 10 years, and it is weird, I guess. But it's people are going to do what they're going to do, and I hope that in a perfect world they would listen to the whole record and hopefully find something that they wouldn't have otherwise.
Do you feel like a veteran now? The Killers have been around for 10 years or more now, or do you still feel like you're new in this business?
I feel like I'm starting to to feel like I belong, but I still feel fairly new and like I've got a lot to learn. But I can't believe it's been 11 years since Hot Fuzz came out. That's insane. So, but when you get on stage, you have a certain confidence from being on stage that many times before. Yeah, it took a long time, but I'm starting to really feel like, okay. Just now. Yeah. Starting. It's just happened. And I'm just feeling like, all right, you look up to these people your whole life that are up there doing it, and those are big shoes to fill. So you're one of those people. Yeah, it took me a long time to really feel like, okay, I'm going to lace these babies up and do it. All right, last question I have, and then we're going to take Brandon down to the Red Bull Sound Space here at KROQ to perform live for us today. And that is, Allie, you tweeted a video a couple of days ago of Brandon in a tuxedo singing a Sinatra song.
I mean, I want a whole album of standards now from you. I don't want to rush you. You're just putting this out, but we're going to need that within 4 months. I'm going to work on it.
Tell me about that day, Brandon. And were you out of your comfort zone doing that? I saw pictures of you with Tony Bennett and some of the others. And this was a Sinatra benefit show?
That's right. Yeah. Yes, he's going to be 100 years old this year. And so they're putting together a little tribute for him at the Tribeca Film Festival, and it was great. They played one of his films, and then they had this whole group of people that were going to sing. And Neo, I sang. Tony Bennett, obviously.
You were Bubléing it up, man.
And so
would you call it Bubléing it up?
No.
I wouldn't either, really, with what I saw. But
I don't think anyone would describe it that way, Bean.
Okay, I withdraw the question then. But it was cool. It was cool to see you doing come fly with me. That was a lot of fun.
That was
So,
cool. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Brandon is not going to be playing here in town until the end of September at the Wiltern, by the way, but you can get all the tour dates if you'd like to follow the young man around the country this summer. There are a lot of them. And of course, again, the record is coming out on Tuesday, May 19th, called The Desired Effect. You've been hearing it here on KROQ, and there's so many good songs that we've already heard. I just can't wait to hear the new record. And I guess you'll be doing a couple of them for us live when we return. Is that right?
That's right.
Fantastic. Be right back on KROQ.